All right, so chapter 13 is on moral development. We have learning goals, as usual. The first one, discuss theory and research on the domains of moral development. The second one is explain how parenting and schools influence moral development. The third one is describe the development of prosocial and antisocial development. And the fourth one is to summarize the nature of children's and adolescents' religious and spiritual development. So start off, what is moral development? Moral development involves changes in thoughts, feelings, behaviors regarding the standards of what is right and what is wrong. The intrapersonal dimension pertains to a person's activities when he or she is not engaged in social interaction, so when they're basically by themselves. And then the interpersonal dimension pertains to social interactions, including cooperation and conflict. To understand moral development, we need to consider 5 basic questions. The first one, how do children and adolescents reason or think about rules for ethical conduct? As an example, you could tell a kid a story about another kid having a conflict on whether or not they should cheat on a test. And then you ask them, what do you think they should do? You're checking to see how they reason about more moral or ethical dilemmas. The second question, how do children and adolescents actually behave in moral circumstances? You're going to look at the behavior. You're going to actually watch them to see if they would actually cheat on a test. The third question, how do children and adolescents feel about moral issues? So, for example, if they do cheat, do they feel guilty about it? The fourth one, what comprises children's and adolescents' personality with respect to morality? So do they have a strong moral identity and character that prevents them from cheating, like a moral code? Fifth question, final one, how is the moral domain different from the social, conventional, and personal domains? And so we'll get a little bit more into that here. With the social cognitive domain theory, what they think is that cheating resides in the moral domain, along with lying and cheating and stealing, harming another person. Behaviors like cutting in a line or speaking out of turn, these go in the social conventional domain. So it's not really a moral thing, it's a social conventions. And then choosing friends, that would be something that would fall in this personal domain. So the book talks about the social conventional, and then it starts into Piaget. So Piaget had a theory on moral development. We're getting to Kohlberg right after Piaget. Piaget concluded that children go through 2 distinct stages of moral development. From 4 to 7 of ages, they display what he called heteronomous morality. So they think that justice and rules are unchangeable, that they are removed from the control of people, that the rules are handed down from all-powerful authorities. And that makes sense. So for a little kid, they have to just kind of go along with what the parent says. The parent is like this all-powerful being. They take care of everything for the kid. They tell them what to do, and the kid doesn't have a lot of say in whether or not they do it. And so for them to move that relationship from the child to the parent and thinking about the parent as an all-powerful figure, the idea that rules and things like that come from above and this all-powerful authority would make sense from that perspective. In this stage, it is not about the consequences of the action. It's just about the action. So, for example, breaking 12 cups on accident is worse than breaking 1 cup on purpose to a kid that's in this stage. So think about that. If you're carrying 12 cups and oops, you fall down, you break 12 cups. Compare that to someone that takes a cup and just throws it on the floor. So the person that dropped the 12 to a kid in this stage, they would be more at fault than the one person that actually did it on purpose, because again, it is the consequences that matters, not the intentions. Children in this stage believe in imminent justice. So what they think is that if a rule is broken, that punishment will be immediate. A violation is automatically connected to its punishment. So you do something wrong, boom, you get punished immediately. From 7 to 10, children transition gradually into the next stage. One reason is that they start this transition is that they begin to see that this imminent justice is flawed. So they might steal a cookie and then nothing happens. Not only is justice not immediate, there's no justice at all. They steal a cookie and nothing actually happens to them. So that justice didn't come. So they're like, if I can get away with this cookie thing, what else can I get away with? What else is broken about my ideas about justice and morality? From 10 years up, children show autonomous morality. They are aware that their rules and laws are created by people, and in judging action, they consider both the intentions and the consequences. So at this stage, if you break 1 on purpose, it's going to be worse than if you did 12 on accident. They recognize that punishment occurs only if someone witnesses the wrongdoing, and that punishment is not inevitable. So children's thinking becomes more sophisticated through various things, but one is a give and take with their peer relations.